My name is Carol Egner and I work for Living Water Ecosystems. Today I'd like to talk you through our integrated strategy to tackle combined sewage overflow and flood prevention. Living Water is a pioneering design company who apply ecological principles to solve water and waste problems. Our approach begins with water and waste minimisation, resource management and recycling. Our treatment systems recreate pond, wetland, soil and woodland ecology. Each system is designed to meet the specific requirements of the project. The aim of our work is to transform contaminated water and waste into a resource using a combination of natural processes. Any material that cannot be reused or recycled is incorporated into the food web to enhance biodiversity. Living Water has carried out consultancy, water and waste management work and the design and implementation of a range of ecological systems for clients in all walks of life, and our carbon negative techniques have been used to treat effluent and wastes with a high organic loading and those with a high hydrocarbon and ammonia content. Living Water's ecological treatment systems are designed to integrate fully into the surrounding landscape and can include a mixture of ponds, wetlands, swales and woodland according to the needs of the project. The construction of any wetlands is done using our proprietary Living Water design that incorporates mechanisms that maximise aeration throughout the bed. This provides aerobic habitat for crucial microbe species, as well as an optimum environment for oxidation of difficult to treat species such as ammonia and high BOD and hydrocarbon loadings. By applying a bioregional approach when designing our treatment systems, we create a diverse mix of over 50 local species that are native to the local ecology, specially selected to meet the treatment requirements of the project. This ensures the swift and successful establishment of all the plants, a seamless integration of the treatment system into the landscape, and a rapid colonisation of the treatment system by local wildlife, including the all-important microbes that facilitate the treatment. The combination of the highly aerated system with a fully functioning and diverse microecology ensures that any potential waste from the plants, such as leaf litter and biomass, are consumed by the microscopic aquatic creatures, bacteria and fungi. Having a complete life cycle where all of the waste and byproducts are consumed allows these diverse systems to be self-sustaining, low maintenance and free of the sludge and deposits that can be found in many other commonly used wetlands. As our systems largely work with nature and minimal to no energy inputs, they are predominantly carbon negative. Depending on the project, there may therefore be a possibility to consider carbon offsetting. Combined sewer overflows were developed as overflow valves to reduce the risk of sewage backing up and flooding homes and public spaces during heavy rainfall, and it has been accepted custom practice to discharge untreated sewage to watercourses via this route. However, recent years have seen an increase in the frequency and severity of these discharges due to an increasing demand for wastewater treatment outpacing the capacity, and also the combined drains being overwhelmed with the exceptional volumes of surface water entering the system during extreme weather events, which, with climate change, are being more frequent and more extreme. As the scale of CSOs increase, so does their impact increase on pollution, degraded watercourses and subsequent local ecology and wildlife. The importance of a stable and flourishing biodiverse ecosystem in stabilising climate change is now well known and understood, and so it's understandable that CSOs now receive more interest from the public, the media and regulatory bodies, leading to more public and customer complaints and expensive financial penalties from the regulator. Living Water takes a whole systems approach to managing CSOs, by first looking to reduce the flows that reach the wastewater treatment works. With a growing population, it's difficult to reduce the amount of foul water entering the drain. However, there are many ways in which we can reduce the clean and contaminated surface water from adding to the flows in the combined drain. And at the wastewater treatment plant itself, we install an overcapacity management system to ensure that no untreated drainings reach the watercourse. So a key objective of any catchment management strategy must be to capture water, which is a precious living resource, and to use it where it is useful rather than have it enter the combined drains where it becomes a problematic waste. The Living Water approach is to identify the key sources of excess water and attenuate these in a productive way, applying the most relevant solution from a range of options, including suds, rainwater gardens, swales, ponds, redesigning straightening waterways and ecological treatment systems. All of these solutions are largely carbon negative and improve local water quality and biodiversity. The advantage of capturing water at source is that there are less land availability restrictions than there are at the wastewater treatment works itself, and more options for potential locations to site an ecological treatment system. And as these systems are entirely natural and integrated into landscape, they offer the opportunity to create local amenity space for wildlife observation, conservation and recreation, as well as potential for bioremediation of brownfield sites and contaminated land. As well as excess rainwater, another large reduction in combined drain demand can be made by preventing contaminated sources of surface water from entering the combined drain, such as runoff from roads and agriculture, and effluents from industrial sources such as manufacturing sites, landfill and distilleries. Living Water have many years of experience of installing natural carbon negative ecological treatment systems to successfully treat all these types of effluents. Looking forward, one of the major problems facing water companies and developers is the issue of drainage block, where there is insufficient capacity in the system to allow further development. Living Water would propose a potential solution here would be for developers to incorporate an ecological treatment system into the landscape design of the development to capture and treat all of the surface water and runoff from the development site. This could potentially be in exchange for foul water treatment capacity at the wastewater treatment works. The significant reductions in the demand being placed on the combined sewer systems from all of these measures will reduce the likelihood of future CSO events and potentially free up capacity and reduce energy demand at the wastewater treatment works. Given that 4% of the UK energy consumption is used to power wastewater treatment, any reduction in energy demand will be a welcome move towards net zero carbon. The incorporation of natural ecological treatment systems throughout the industrial, manufacturing, commercial and residential areas would also bring about a wealth of other benefits, including the creation of swathes of wildlife corridors, providing much needed habitat and forage for local wildlife, and established ecological treatment systems in areas of natural beauty, providing health and well-being benefits for the residents, staff and employees in the area. As well as looking at the mid to long-term flood prevention and mitigation, it's also crucial to tackle the immediate issue of CSOs at site. We would propose the installation of an ecological treatment system that would perform tertiary treatment during normal operation and act as an emergency containment and treatment system during abnormal operation in flood scenarios. The ATS would be designed and sized to receive and treat the maximum anticipated combined drainage flows according to FEH 13. A hydro brake system would be installed on the inlet to the wastewater treatment works, which would be set to only ever allow the wastewater treatment works to receive its design capacity of combined drainage. Overflow drains from the holding tank would also be directed into the ETS in case of operational upset, so that all combined drain contents would always be treated prior to discharge. In the event that the flow was higher than the capacity of the wastewater treatment works, all excess would be redirected through the hydro brake into the ecological treatment system, where everything would be treated prior to discharge into the watercourse. And the large levels of evapotranspiration performed in the ATS also reduce the overall discharge flow into the watercourse. The hydro brake and ETS design can also be used where the drainage is not combined. In this instance, the ETS will accept and perform primary treatment on all surface water and tertiary treatment of foul water during normal operation. So again, the holding tank overflow would be directed to the ecological treatment system, so that even in case of operational upset, all the combined drain contents are treated prior to discharge. And as before, there would be a hydro brake installed on the file drainage line coming into the system, so that the wastewater treatment work only receives the design capacity, and any excess will always be sent to the ATS for treatment, so that there's never any raw, untreated sewage going out into the watercourse. So here we have some examples of where the hydro brake system has been installed with a living water ecological treatment system. At Rothy Norman in Aberdeenshire, the wastewater treatment system was overwhelmed and discharging poorly treated water to the local watercourse. So the system had been designed for 3 times dry water flow with a population of 760 people. whereas in reality the actual flow was 12 times the dry water flow. So Living Water were consulted and asked to come up with a design, and so we installed a screener to remove solids for disposal, followed by a hydro brake that limited the flow to the wastewater treatment plant to 3 times the dry water flow, which was its design capacity. The remainder went directly to the Living Water ecological treatment system, which was sized to take up to 12 times the dry water flow. And soon after the installation was complete, the local river was seen to be much better quality and running clear again. The water quality had improved so much that just within a few months, otters returned to the area for the first time in a very long time. Similarly, at Muir Drum in Angus, the wastewater treatment works was overwhelmed, as the actual flow was 3 times its capacity. A hydro brake was installed to protect the wastewater treatment system from any flow more than that, with the remainder being directed to the ecological treatment system, which was sized to take up to 18 times the dry water flow. And here at Hever Castle, we can see the application of the integrated approach here. And this is at Hever Castle Estate. So in this instance, Living Water were tasked to treat the combined drainage from Hever Castle, Hever Hotel and Hever Golf Club, giving a total population equivalent of 1,268 people. Our first priority was to minimise the amount of surface water reaching the combined drain, which was achieved by applying catchment assessment and surface water management measures, as we've described earlier. The remaining contents of the combined drain was treated via the ecological treatment system, which has now been running for 13 years, treating 78 kilograms of BOD per day. The high levels of evapotranspiration of the pond, the wetland treatment system and the willow coppice result in no discharge from the system at all, and the integration of the treatment system is entirely sympathetic with the grounds of the castle. So why is this integrated approach to CSO prevention so novel? And it's because Living Water's strategy takes a whole systems regional approach to catchment management, flood mitigation and wastewater treatment. We use our extensive global knowledge to design regional and site-specific solutions to a wide range of effluents. By tackling surface water at source, we capitalise on the available options for land use and reduce the load on the combined drain system and reduce the risk of overcapacity situations. Our ecological treatment systems are all designed with a bioregional approach, using a plant matrix of over 50 local species targeted at specific contaminants. This means that our ecological treatment systems integrate seamlessly and sympathetically with their local surroundings, immediately providing a very biodiverse habitat for a wide variety of native local wildlife, and microbiology which very quickly establishes a healthy population. And while it is largely the flora that are commonly credited with providing treatment in NATS, the microflora and fauna are highly integral to the process, consuming some contaminants but also consuming detritus produced by the plants. The diversity of the ecological treatment system ensures a healthy, diverse ecosystem of microbugs that keep the system clean, sludge-free and self-sustaining. The superior performance of Living Water ecological treatment systems is also aided by the proprietary physical design that naturally provides aeration and maximum contact time through the system, which gives optimum oxidation and an aerobic environment for the microbugs. The high levels of evapotranspiration reduce the discharge volumes. All of Living Water systems use very little energy, if at all, and generating no emissions and are largely carbon negative, helping to move us all towards our much needed target of net zero carbon. Their innate biodiversity and beauty provide significantly improved habitat and forage for local wildlife, as well as the opportunity for recreation, education and well-being services for the local community. The overcapacity protection system at the wastewater treatment plant gives a significant increase in operational reliability and resilience in case of breakdown, meaning fewer issues of blocked sewers, pollution events, customer and public complaints, and non-regulatory compliance. With over 32 years of expertise in water catchment and water treatment, and demonstration of these technologies at a smaller scale, Living Water is ready and very keen to apply our integrated approach at a regional level. So Living Water are passionate about tackling CSOs, and we are seeking enthusiastic and committed partners and clients to work together to develop an integrated strategy to tackle CSO prevention and mitigation, including catchment management and on-site prevention, mitigation and treatment. and we want to work together to apply an integrated CSO prevention design at their most suitable wastewater treatment site, including catchment management and overcapacity prevention. Thank you very much for your attention today. If you'd like to know more about CSO prevention and any other services and what we can do for you, please contact Jane Shields on 01383 415 215 or janes@livingwater.org.uk. You can also learn more about our other services on our website www.livingwater.org.uk. We look forward to hearing from you.